Last time, what we did with PCP and Grafana, PCP being Performance Copilot, we set up the PCP to collect information on our system, and then we went to Grafana and we installed it. So we then installed the plugin for PCP, and we created a data source for PCP vector, which means that it isn't going to persist. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to set up a persistence layer to be able to do some work with this. And to do that, we have to actually set up two different servers. So, okay, so let's, we need the one that's going to collect the data, and then we'll need some additional services from another machine so that we can pull that data, and I can show you how to add in servers to collect data from them as well. All right, so let's get started. The first thing we want to do is, this is Fedora 37, and I'm going to just make sure that I am up to date. Don't have any, I don't have any outstanding updates to do before we get started. So, all right, so now we're going to get Redis installed. And then we'll want to go ahead and do a start on Redis so that it's running. And we'll do the enable part as well, so that the next time it will actually come up and run. So let's see what we got. Let's make sure that it is running okay and it looks good. So we need to go tell our configuration for PCP that Redis is installed. So for that, we have to go to PM proxy. And there should be this file. And we're looking for a couple of things. Redis enabled is true, that's on. And then we're looking for scalable time series enabled equal true, which is that right there. Just to make sure this is login. So now I got to restart those services that are affected. And that's going to be pmcd, pmlogger, and pm proxy. Okay, so I have a machine here. This is it doesn't matter. This is a Debian machine that's a Raspberry Pi. What I'm going to do is I'm going to install PCP over here. Now it's a little bit different with Debian. You don't install PCP-0 config. Instead, you just install PCP. And you'll notice that what's going to be installed here are all of these libraries and all of these packages. And that's the equivalent right there. Those two together is the equivalent of 0 config. Yeah, it's running. It doesn't quite collect as much information as the others, but it is definitely running, and we can, let's see, let's do a greep on kernel, and we'll look at the first 5. So it has about the same kind of data that one would expect. So, all right, so in order for me to collect the data over on Fedora here, I've got to go and set this up to allow connections from the outside. Otherwise, it's only gonna allow connections from the local host. And what we need to do to fix that is go to, well, let's make sure. This might be a little bit different. I think it's etc defaults over here, or it's etc default. Yeah, it's right there. That might help to be root to work on this file. And we want to change that to a 0. That, as it says here, a value 0 permits remote connections. 1 only permits local. So we definitely want that. All right, so let's make sure that we are gathering what we need. So you can see this directory right here, node 1. So it is collecting, and we'll just make sure that there's actually data in here, and there is. What I need to do now is I need to go into etc PCP pmlogger, and there's a control.d. I need to go in there. Whoop. So you'll see local there. That's fine. That's for the local host. But what I need right now is I need one for remote. And I don't think there's anything. So the very first thing I need in this is I need the name of the server I am going to collect information from. Then we have the primary or server as no, because this is not the primary. And so the next thing is I'll need to tell it where to find the log files. And they're going to be in pmlogger node 1. I think that's what I saw over here. No, it's fully qualified. Okay, and then let's see. Need a -r. Okay. And as long as so every remote server that you're going to use, you'll need to have. Let's just make sure I can ping it. I can. Good. Let's restart this. Yep, there's my directory. And there's my data. So it is definitely pulling it across. So it will chuck this data along with time. It'll just keep collecting it. So the next thing we want to do is go back to Grafana here. So let's do that. Don't save. Add data source. And this time it'll be a Redis. It'll be this one. 44.322. And save and test. It looks like it's working. So, all right, good. And so we've done two things so far. I have installed Redis to persist this. And now we need to see if we're getting anything. So let's go to, yes, we are. Yes, we indeed are. So I can give this a couple of things to look at. Let me just turn that off. And let's do kernel load. There we go. And you'll notice right away here we've got two different systems. We've got Fedora and Node 1, as you can see from the graph here. Also, you'll see that right here too. So if I want to collect, if I just want to see what's in Node 1, I can select that. And if I want to see what's in the other host, I can select that, or I can just turn that off and see them both. So let's put this on 5 minutes because, yeah, yeah. So it's collecting and it's showing us data for both systems. That's basically it. So let me just summarize what we did. We went to our server and we installed Redis. We also had to go over to our node that we wanted to collect data from. And we had to reconfigure the PMCD service to be local and turn the local off so that it would accept remote connections. You'll also have to check your firewall and make sure that that 44.322 port is open. The next step, we had to go back to the server and add the configuration into pmlogger. I'll put the command in the description for that remote so that all you have to do is copy and paste it and then change it for your particular machines that you're doing. Now, you won't have to do one for your server, of course, because you've already got that. So that's all I had. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.